list can have items with the same value, as you have indexes that are starting from 0, BMW that is placed on the index 0. And if you want to find the length of the list, you could just simply use the length function. For that, we'll write length of list 1. We'll save this and click on the run button. You could see that it states that there are 3 elements stored in the list. Now, moving on to tuples. So, tuples are used to store multiple items in a single variable. And tuple is also one of the 4 built-in data types in Python that is used to store collections of data. Tuples are written with round brackets. We'll see a demo how tuples are created. So for that, we will create a variable and named as loop1, and inside the circular brackets we will insert some values. That would be the name of some cars, then will be the car brands BMW, Audi, and Mercedes. And then you can print this tuple, just save it and click on the run button. You can see that the tuple is created and it has given us the output 3 values that we have stored in the tuple. And some important facts or the properties about the tuples, that the tuple items are ordered. It means that the items have a defined order or that order will not change. And the elements in the tuple are unchangeable, that we cannot change, add or remove items after the tuple has been created. And it allows duplicate values. Since tuples are indexed, that is, BMW is indexed at index value 0, OD at 1, and Mercedes at 2, so they can have items with the same value. And if you want to find the length of the tuple, you could use the length method. For that, we'll just write print, and inside the print, we'll use the length function and the name of the tuple. We'll save this and run this. You could see that it has given us the output 3, that is, it has saved 3 elements in the tuple. Now, moving on to sets. Sets are used to store multiple items in a single variable, and it is also one of the 4 built-in data types that is used to store collection data. And a set is a collection which is unordered, unchangeable, and unindexed. So we'll see a demo for that. Now we'll see the demo for sets. To create a set, we just need to use curly braces. So for that, we will create a variable set1, and inside that, in curly braces, we would add the car brands, that is BMW, then Audi, Mercedes, and after that we will print set1. We'll save this and run the program. You could see that the set has been created, and set items are unordered. You have seen that the list and tuple items are ordered, but in sets the items are unordered. They do not have a defined order, So the items can appear in a different order every time you use them and cannot be referred to by any index or key value. And they are unchangeable. That is, we cannot change the items after the set has been created, and it do not allow duplicate values also. So we have seen the sets, and moving on, we'll see dictionaries as the container values. So dictionaries are used to store data values in key value pairs. They are written with curly braces and have keys and values, and the collection is ordered. And as of Python version 3.7, dictionaries are ordered. In Python version 3.6 and earlier, dictionaries are unordered. We will see a small demo for dictionaries. Now, starting with dictionaries, first we will comment this set. We will create a dictionary with the variable dict1 that is equal to curly braces, and inside curly braces we will add option car1, and that its value is BMW, and the second car, its value is OD, and we have to place a comma after every item. So the car 3 is Mercedes. So now we'll get this dictionary printed. Print dict1. So we'll save this and click on the run button so that the dictionary get created, and we also get the printed dictionary. That is, car 1 is associated with the value BMW, car 2 is associated with value OD, car 3 is associated with value Mercedes. And in dictionaries, the items are changeable. That means we can change, add, or remove items after the dictionary has been created, and it does not allow duplicate items. That is, with the same key, you can't have two same values. With the two different keys, you can't have two same values, so it does not allow duplicate items. Now, moving on, we'll see some if else conditions. So, with that, we will understand the if else condition using an example only. So, first, we will create a variable and assign a value to it, and then another variable and assign value to it. And now we'll use if statement and write if b is greater than a, then we will print b is greater than a. Okay, so we'll save this and click on run. You could see that the condition is true, that is b that stores the value 9 is greater than a, so it has printed b greater than a. And if we reverse the condition, if a is greater than b, print b greater than a. And if we run this, you can see you didn't got any value as the condition is false, so it won't run the print statement here. So now moving on, now after As you've seen that if the condition is not true, it will not print the print statement. Now we will also use the elif statement here. So if the above condition is not true, it will move to the next statement, that would be elif. And if b is greater than a, it will print b is greater than a. Okay, so we'll save this and click on run button. You could see that it has first gone through this if statement, and this is not correct. It has not printed this print statement. Then it has moved to the elif statement, and it got b greater than a, and it has printed b is greater than a. So you can use as many elif statement as you want. And now we will be using the else statement. The else keyword catches anything which isn't caught by the preceding conditions. So for the else statement, and if we just get this b equal to a, that is if b value is equal to a, then it should print b is greater than a. And if these both conditions are not true, then it would be shifted to else statement. And for else statement we will write print b equal to 9. So we'll save this and run it. So you could see that it has given us the output as b equal to 9, as it has gone through the if statement. If a is greater than b, that is 7 is not greater than 9, so it has omitted that statement. Then it has moved to the next statement, that is elif statement, that is b equal to a, and 7 is not equal to 9. So it has omitted that statement and moved to next statement, that is else, and it has printed b equal to 9 in b equal to 9. If the above statements mentioned above the else statement are not true, then the else statement would be executed and it will print what is inserted in the else statement. So moving on, we will start with Python loops. And Python has two loop commands, that is two primitive loop commands, while loop and for loop. And with the while loop, we can execute a set of statements as long as a condition is true. We'll see this with the help of an example. First, we'll comment this down, and here, see example of while loop. If we start with I equal to 1, and while I is less than 99, it will print I, and it will increment I with value 1. So I'll save this and run this program. You can see that the while loop has been executed and it has printed 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 till 98 while I is less than 99. If we put I is less than equal to 99, so it will run the loop till 99. You could see that the loop has been executed till 99. So this is how we use the while loop. And for loops, The for loop is used for iterating over a sequence, that is list, tuple, and dictionaries. So I will show you an example for that. I will comment it down. And for loop, I will create a list, and inside the list we will add the brand names only. That would be BMW, Audi, and then Mercedes. And now to print all these values, we'll use the for loop for I in list 1, print I. We'll save this and click on run button. You could see that this loop has printed all the values one by one, that is BMW, Audi, and Mercedes. This is how the loops are used. Now moving on, we will see the Python functions. So a function is a block of code which only runs when it is called, and you can pass any data that is known as parameters into a function. So we'll see how we define and call a function in Python. For that, we use a keyword df and then the function name. So we'll name the function hello, and after the colon we will print hello simply learn learners, and after that we'll call this function, that is hello, and we'll simply call this. We'll save this and run it. You can see that it has printed hello simply learner. So we have defined the function here and call the function here. Now we'll see some functions with argument. So for that, you can just pass an argument in this function only, f name as an argument. So any information can be passed into functions as arguments, and arguments are specified after the function name inside the parenthesis. You can add as many arguments as you want. Just separate them with a comma. So we have added a single argument here, and here we will do print hello simply learners, and after that just say hello and the name of the person. With that, we will write f name. Now we'll call the function with the parameter. So we'll pass the parameter. First would be Abisa. Second, we'll pass Anurag. And another as James. So we'll save this and run it. You could see that it has given the output as hello Abhisar, hello Anurag, hello James. So we have passed an argument here, that is f name, And we have printed the statement with a string that would be constant, that is hello, and f name, as we will pass the parameter when we call the function. So we have passed Abhisar here, so it has printed first hello Abhisar, then we have called the function again, and we have passed the value Anurag there, the name Anurag there. So it will display hello Anurag, then hello James. So these are with the function. Now we'll move to Python built-in math functions. So Python has a set of built-in math functions, including an extensive math module that we'll see in the further tutorial, that will allow you to perform mathematical tasks on number. So we will see a demo using these functions. First we'll see the built-in functions, and when we'll study about the module, then we'll see some functions from the module also. So we'll start with minimum and maximum functions. So for that, first we'll create a variable and apply the minimum function there. So the minimum and maximum functions, they can be used to find the lowest or highest value in an iterable. So we'll add some values, that is 3, 9, 7, 19, and another value, that is b equal to max, and we'll pass values 2, 9, 88, and 71. Now we'll get it printed, print x, and then print b. So we'll save this and run it. So you can see that it has given us the output as 3. That is, we have used the minimum function. So it has get the minimum value from all the items we have passed in the minimum function, that is 3, 9, 7, 19. The minimum value is 3, and in the max function, the max value, that is 88. So moving on, now we have absolute function. So first we'll comment down this, and moving on, we'll use the absolute function. So the absolute function returns the absolute positive value of the specified number. If we write a negative number, and we will use the absolute function for that, inside absolute function we'll write a negative value, that would be mm, 99.75. Okay, and after that, if we print this value, print x, we'll save this program and run it. You could see that the value has been turned into positive, that is 99.75. So absolute converts the negative value into positive, that it only prints positive value, but you pass whether it's positive or negative. So we'll see another function, that would be the power function. So the power function, its syntax would be like this: x comma y. So I will show you with the help of a demo, with the help of an example. So with that, we'll write x equal to power function, and inside we'll pass 4 comma 3, that is 4 raised to power 3, and then we'll print its value. Now I'll save this program and run it. So you could see that it has given us the value as 64. So 4 4s are 16, 16 4s are 64, 4 raised to the power 3. So we have seen another built-in function, that is pa. Now moving on, we have Python lambda function. Now, moving on, we have Python lambda function. So, a lambda function is a small anonymous function and it can take any number of arguments but can only have one expression. So, we'll see an example. First, we'll comment this down, and for lambda function, we will create a variable, and inside we will hit lambda variable x, and we will define an expression for that. That would be x multiplication operator into 10, and then we'll print it x. No, our function name is a, and inside we will pass 5. So 5 would be placed in place of x. That would be, it will return the value as 50. So you could see that we have created a lambda function in a variable a, and we have defined the expression, that is, we have used the variable x for the expression, and we have defined the expression as x using the multiplication operator into 10, and then we have printed it, that is print the name of the lambda function and the value we have passed, that would be replacing x. So now moving on to the next item, Python iterator. But before Python iterator, I want to tell you one thing, that in Python we do not have arrays, like we do not have built-in support for arrays, but Python lists, they can be used as arrays. So for that, you can just click on the I button. There you would get the playlist, and there is a video particularly in lists, tuple, and dictionaries. So there you will be getting all the details about the list and how you can use them as array. Now moving on, we would start with Python iterator. So an iterator is an object that can be iterated upon, meaning that you can traverse through all the values which consist of the methods. I will show you two methods, that is underscore underscore itr underscore underscore, and the second method is next. So these are the two methods that we used in an iterator. So I will make you understand with the help of an example. So first we will create a tuple and name it as tup1, and inside the circular brackets we'll write the brand name of the cars. So that would be BMW. The next is Audi, and the next is Mercedes. And now we will create a variable my tuple equal to iterator function, and inside we will pass the name of the variable that we have created as a tuple. And now to iterate this tuple, we will write print, and using the next function inside we will just write the name of the variable in which we have passed the tuple here, that is my tuple, and again we will print this statement. Now we'll save this and run the program. You could see that it has printed the first value in the tuple 1, that is BMW, and then OD. So we have created a tuple and stored three items in that. And then we have created a variable and used the iterator function and passed the tuple in that. And after that, we have created a print statement, and inside we have passed myTup variable inside the next function. So it has printed the value BMW, then OD. And if we print this value again and save this and run this, you could see all the three values that are stored in the tuple, they have been printed. So we have seen the iterator, Python iterator. Now moving on to the next topic, that is Python modules. So a module, a Python module is same as a code library. That is a file containing a set of functions that you want to include in your applications. So we have some modules that are repeat यहाँ से कट होगा जो पहले वाला था ना थोड़ा. So we have some modules that have already been defined, that is pandas, matplotlib, and beautiful soup and math module. So there are so many modules that have been defined, and you can also create a module of your own and you can import it into another program. So you just have to save the file with the extension .py, and you can use that file into another file just using the word import, using the word import statement, or import then the name of the file that you have created with the py extension. So here you would see a module that have been created earlier, and that module would be math. So first we'll import that module, that is import math, that is the built-in module, and it has named as math, which will extend the list of mathematical functions in the Python. And to use it, we have used the import keyword, and after that we have written the name of the module. And when you have imported the math module, you can start using methods and constants of the module, that is math. So first we'll start with the square root method. For that, we'll create a variable and inside write math dot sqrt, and inside we'll pass 91, and then we'll print the variable. We'll save this. Oh, yeah, print. So we'll save this and run it. So you could see that the square root of 91 is 9.5393920, and it goes on. So this is one of the methods that is stored in the math module, and we have other methods also. Now we'll see another method, that is ceiling, and ceiling method rounds a number upwards to its nearest integer. And there's another method, that is floor, that rounds a number downwards to its nearest integer and returns the result. So for that, we'll write a variable x equal to, and to use these functions, we will write math dot ceil function, and we'll write the value 5.4, and in another variable, that is y equal to, we'll use the math module, and here we'll use the method floor, and inside we'll pass 5.4 only, and then we will print both these variables, that is print x and print y. Now we'll save this and run the program. You could see that it has returned the value as 6, that it returns the value that is upwards to its nearest integer, that is above the 5.4, that is 5, that is integer 5 and integer 6. We have the value 5.4 in between, and the upward value which corresponds to 5.4 is 6. So it has returned the value 6. And with the floor function,